The story chose me. I didn't pick it. Um, Lulu was my best friend.
Oh, so you've known her?
Yeah, that's me on the
Right.
poster. And so, what do you do when something happens to you in your life and you're a filmmaker? I think maybe that's the question. What if the most defining thing that happened in your life you have on film? What do you do with it? Do you leave it in your drawer, or do you make something of it? So basically, what happened was 10 years ago, my best friend Lulu, she's one of the top cancer researchers in the country, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer herself at 42. And I can tell you about how I came to even getting that very first shot in the film. I just started film school, and what film students get is I was invited to film a wedding, so I have all my camera gear going to San Francisco to film a wedding. And Lulu said, "Hey, you want to come to a biopsy?" And I said, "Sure." And the wedding was canceled. I was in Minnesota with my camera, and she went to her biopsy. And when she got the phone call that she has malignant cancer, the camera was rolling. So basically, it's just one of those moments that happened to me, and I was like, okay, this is intense. I just found myself in a moment of crisis. But anyway, from that moment on, I decided to keep filming her, and I kept following her. I kept flying back to where she was. And so 15 months later, she died. And it's only about 7 years later that I decided to take it out of the drawer and make it into a film. I've been called brave twice in my life. The first time was when I left my really cushy law job and I went to film school, and people thought I was brave, right? The second time that people call me brave is when they watch this film after they come out of a screening. And I think what happened was I was willing to go to a place that most people kind of turned their heads. I lived it the first time. And so the second time when I have to take it out of the drawer, I thought, okay, 7 years have passed, so I should be, pretty clear-eyed about it. But I was surprised myself. I mean, I was still processing things that I never saw before. But the second time, as I was making this film, the key thing that I was trying to do and deliver in the film is what would help someone like me the first time around if I had a film around like that. And that really is the goal, is what's driving me. It's like, if I had this film 10 years ago when I was going through this, I have some kind of a reference on what this process is like. But death is something we don't talk about, certainly not in polite company, not at cocktail parties. Families who have terminal illness are told to respect their privacy in this time of difficult time. So it's something that we have very little access of, but for God's sake, we're all going to go through this. So I said, okay, what if I can make this film? What if I can be brave and honest about what happened? And maybe it'll demystify and make it less scary, and you know what? Actually, okay, you'll live through this. And you know what? You can go and help someone else go through it, because I can tell you, everyone in this room, they know someone have gone through it, a shade of it, even if they don't talk about it.
This is the first personal documentary I've edited. And at first, it felt like an honor to know Lulu, really, to get to know her so well and so intimately. And she invigorates you. Her spirit is so invigorating that you watch her and you're just laughing at the material that you've seen 100 times. It's like she's just like this joyful person. And it was exhausting at times, because you're working with the heavy, topics in life. That as I'm very introspective, and I like to dig in and understand life's big questions. So that was just a joy to be able to do all the time for my work. How was I viewing Casper?
Yeah, like the interaction on film.
Yeah,
and
no, it's
off film.
very interesting because, she didn't really want to be in the film in the beginning, and I understood that. And the way I think I like to think about it is it's almost like this archaeological dig that you come to understand. Casper, I just met her very recently when we started editing, and you're trying to kind of piece together a relationship that she has her own memories about it, and I have, basically her journal on video.
And a different perspective.
And that reveals information that maybe conflicts with her own memory. And so, having to ask questions about it took a while to get to the place where we she could trust me and I could trust myself in asking personal questions to kind of dig deeper and understand, what was really going on in the relationship and all the different moments that we see in the film.